Look around you. Our planet is absolutely bursting with an amazing, breathtaking variety of animals. From fish swimming in the deep oceans, to birds flying high in the sky, mammals walking the earth, and tiny insects hiding in the grass. Welcome to today's Explainer, where we're going to make total sense of this wild, wonderful world. But here's a huge question to kick things off. Have you ever wondered how scientists organize millions of different animals? If you just had a giant, endless list of every single creature on Earth, it would be a massive, confusing problem to keep track of them all without some kind of scientific system. Well, the answer to that giant problem, it's classification. It's basically this brilliant scientific solution we use to understand nature. By grouping animals based on the characteristics they share, we can suddenly make perfect sense of the millions of creatures that share our planet. Today, let's discover the two major groups of animals and then explore their fascinating subgroups. So, when we look at the entire animal kingdom, scientists make one massive split right at the very top. Vertebrates on one side and invertebrates on the other. And it all comes down to one really important piece of anatomy. Section 1. Vertebrates. Animals with backbones. So, what does that actually mean? The crucial point here is that vertebrates are animals that have a backbone or spinal column. Actually, reach back right now and feel the center of your own back. Yep, you can feel yours. In the scientific world, vertebrates are commonly divided into 5 major groups: fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. Let's look at each one. Let's kick things off with fish. These are vertebrate animals that generally live in water and use gills for breathing. Think about the goldfish in a tank, a great white shark in the ocean, or a salmon swimming upstream. They are perfectly adapted to their aquatic environment. And fish don't need a bicycle to travel underwater. They have fins, they're built for swimming, and those amazing gills allow them to pull oxygen right out of the water. Moving right along to our next group, amphibians. Now, check out this fun little equation: water plus land. Amphibians are vertebrates that can live in water and on land during different stages of their lives. A frog, for example, starts as a tadpole swimming in a pond before moving on to land, just like a salamander. Next up, group number 3, reptiles. Reptiles are vertebrate animals that are best known for having dry, scaly skin. This group includes some incredibly fascinating creatures like the snake, the lizard, the crocodile, and the turtle. Their scales help protect them and keep moisture locked securely inside their bodies. And hey, don't worry, the snake on your screen is only an animation. You are perfectly safe. But in the wild, those scales are just an incredible evolutionary trait that defines the whole reptile family. Moving on to group 4, we're taking to the skies with birds. Birds are vertebrate animals with feathers, wings, and beaks. Whether it's a soaring eagle, a city pigeon, a colorful parrot, or even a swimming penguin, those feathers are the absolute defining feature that sets birds apart from everything else. Finally, rounding out our vertebrates, we have mammals. Mammals are vertebrate animals that have hair or fur and whose mothers produce milk for their young. This includes cats, dogs, elephants, lions, and yes, humans. You and I belong exactly in this group right here. It's honestly so amazing to think about. From a tiny kitten to a giant elephant, mammals come in many amazing shapes and sizes. It's wild that we share the same basic backbone and classification branch as a lion or a dog. Section 2. Invertebrates. No backbone needed. Let's dive in. But what about animals without a backbone, right? Well, meet the invertebrates. These are simply animals that do not have a backbone. And let me tell you, this group includes many wildly different, sometimes alien-like, and absolutely fascinating creatures. They actually make up the vast majority of all animal life on Earth. Let's explore their subgroups. First up, sponges. Sponges are very simple aquatic animals that usually live attached to surfaces underwater. If you've ever seen a sea sponge in a coral reef, they basically just sit there filtering water. No bones, no moving around, just a very simple, stationary underwater lifestyle. Next, we wiggle right into group 2, worms. Worms are soft-bodied animals with long, flexible bodies. Think of the earthworm moving through the soil in your garden, or a tapeworm. Because they have no backbone, they can bend and move through the dirt with incredible flexibility. Now, there is a very strict anatomical rule for our third group, insects. Insects are invertebrates with exactly 6 legs and 3 main body regions.
Whether it's a beautiful butterfly, a busy ant, a buzzing bee, or a jumping grasshopper, they all follow this exact same structural rule.
Seriously? 6 legs. That's 3 times more than you have. And imagine trying to buy 6 pairs of shoes. It would be an absolute nightmare at the mall. But for insects, it's the perfect design for survival. Sliding into our 4th group, we meet the mollusks. Mollusks are soft-bodied animals, but many of them protect themselves with a hard outer shell. This includes the slow-moving snail, the oyster, and even the incredibly smart octopus, which is a mollusk that completely lost its shell over time. And finishing off our invertebrate subgroups, we have echinoderms. These are marine animals with characteristic spiny or rough body surfaces. If you've ever touched a starfish or seen a spiky sea urchin in a tide pool, you've met an echinoderm. Okay, let's make it super easy to remember. Let's bring everything we've learned into one grand final recap. The entire animal kingdom is basically split into 2 pillars: vertebrates, which have a backbone, and invertebrates, which do not. Vertebrates include fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, and mammals. Invertebrates include sponges, worms, insects, mollusks, and echinoderms. By locking this tree into your memory, you instantly understand how millions of animals are organized. Classification is literally like a map to the natural world. It turns all that confusion into order and shows us how we're connected to every living thing. So your big takeaway from this explainer today is this: learn biology, explore life, and keep discovering. The next time you step outside, take a really close look. What new classification branch will you discover in your very own backyard?